Good morning, traders. How are you guys doing today? Can you guys hear me? Good morning, traders. Let's do a sound test. Hello, David. All right, so let's quickly check SPY. And SPY was a red today, but kind of a bottoming tail moving back up. Right now, it is close to 44.25, so um, still under the lows of the yesterday. So let's see what it does. It's gonna pull back a little bit more or continue ripping up high. And if you look at the Nasdaq is similar, hugging the 20 EMA, and as well the SPY is doing the same, but it's just SPY is a bit away from it. So things are still positive for the indexes. There are a lot of things happened this week, but we thought that it's gonna help the pullback in the market, but there was no significant pullback. Uh, Yields are going up, so we'll see that what is going to happen. And in terms of the gapper, there's a lot of gappers today. So let's look at the first gapping up stocks, which is the TLRY, Tilray. Tilray, if you look at the daily, is very speculative. Sometimes it just move up, and despite the gap up, sometimes just loses. So very hard to trade the stock to predict the direction based on the gap. So I usually don't trade them because for me it's really hard to guess it. When we gonna have this pop? Because once it's gonna have a pop, then it die down. So it's really hard for the stock to catch the right place. So right now, but if you like to trade, it's 7.3 gapped up, high is 1440, and low is the clear support is around $40. So mark that if you like to trade this one. The next one is the VISC Viacom. Uh, Suddenly popped. High is 4050, and if you look at the daily is not really good. Uh, you know, it's just the last gap up we have seen on the May on the August 4th. It gapped $3 and then it returned all the gains. Right now it is in the middle of the range. So let's see what it does. It doesn't make a new high, and the 41 could be an important resistance for the stock. And if you look at the intraday, so 40.50 is a pre-market high. That is going to be an important, and the $40 is going to be an important support as well. So we'll see what it does. Does it going to hold it or no? Next one is the ZIM. So for ZIM, if you look at the daily, it's trying to break all-time high. All-time high is 49.58, so 50 is very important level. Nice pattern. 47 is a support, and here if you look at it, the 48 is a support, and then clearly we see 48.77. So a lot of this is very congested area because if it's going to break out, it's breaking out now. If it's going to break out, it's going to break out very nicely. So that is looks like a good. Next one we have is LOW, low 3.8% up, but not having a volume at this point. Um, Not a clear formation, no clear support, no nice candles, so don't know what it's going to do, and is also expensive stock. Next one we have a Tiger. Tiger is almost 4% up. Yesterday it moved really well, then came down, then after hours it moved back up again. Now it's consolidating. 1450 is an important support. Let's see what it does, and definitely the 1490 or 15-ish area is a resistance. So Tiger could be a good one. Hi Bridget. So Tiger could be an interesting area. 1450 is a nice support, and a 1490 is a resistance. So similarly with the Tiger, if you want to look at it quickly, check all the Chinese stocks. They are gapping up today. Just like Baba is only 1% up today. But if you look at the 15 minutes chart, you will see that, this gap up is it put this Baba into the middle of the last 2 days, and it might gonna close the gap before the Friday. It seems to me that it doesn't want to go down. Definitely, the target would be the 181 at the end of the Friday. So I'm gonna watch the stock to see if we can find some kind of a momentum on the upside on this, just like the way we've seen a Futo momentum. Similarly, if you look at the JD, and you will see that JD is a bit on the higher side. Monday it came, this is the 16th, so this week started from 16th. So here then came down, and right now it is on the middle of the range. The 16 is this, and the gap is this is the gap here. So it has, but it doesn't have that much potential than we see in the Baba. But usually these stocks moves more often together, so you can keep an eye on that as well. JKS has already moved, but we know is a low volume always, right? We didn't trade last few days despite it's coming down, but it's just a low volume, so it's hard to trade. But if you look at again the 15 minutes chart, you will see that in fact the daily is much better to show here. Look at it, it came from 61 to 41 without any pullback. Right now it is pulling back of the yesterday. It might gonna retest this level of the 47, so we can definitely see if we can find some kind of a momentum here. Oh, VRPX is not available for me to short. I just went long this morning. Yeah, I will show you the VRPX. I went long. I will show you here. So I went long here on 1715 around 28.75. I ride it all the way to 33. Uh, I don't have any short. I was wanting to short here on the bear flag, but I didn't have any short availability. Right now it is extended, but this is very strange price action, because if the stocks are not available for shorting, usually stock doesn't get parabolic, because in order for the stock to go parabolic, there has to be a two parties need to be there. One is on the long side, one is on the short side. But if there is no short side available, I don't know why, how can this be getting a parabolic right now. So but you're right, if you can short on the CFD platform, and it's definitely going long, but right now it still seems strong. Look at the 15 minute, you will see came down, pull back, and again on the VWAP is coming back. So don't try to short the the backside of it. I mean that after it pulled back and then you try, no, don't try to short that. Maybe when you see it make the new high and you see some kind of a pattern on the top, then maybe try to short it, but go small size, because you never know it's going to squeeze you back. Okay, so this at this point is a risky. Let's see what it does. If it retest the $40 without any pullback, just like quickly pumped all the way there, like the big candle, then could be a shorting opportunity. But if it's come in the waves like this right now, is making a bull flags and keep going up, then it seems to be is going to be a very strong stock. So it's really hard. Look at this, how beautifully it make the bull flags here and moving up. So sometimes, if you pull back and you think you're gonna go short now, you're gonna get squeezed on these kind of stocks. Yeah, that is the issue with these parabolic stocks, that never ever short them when they're coming down. Uh, Never ever short. Never short. If you want to short on the top, right? But always you need to make sure you go small size, because if it's turned around to you, then you still have to do a multiple try on these. Unless you have a clear pattern, just like, I usually see if it's a, you can see that it's a four parabolic candles. I was assuming it's gonna pull back now. Wanna give a one, well, wanna give a red candle for sure. So, but you need to be very quick. If it's go in your direction. If it doesn't go, you immediately stopped out. You don't need to wait for these patterns to work for you. Otherwise, you're gonna get squeezed all the time. You know. So don't advise. Don't short on the support. If you wanna short on the resistance. That is the only thing I can say. So these are the one. Is WB is also coming back to, WB is a very is a high short float ratio, is around 17%, and is moving up. So we're gonna watch it. WB and also the Sophie both are moving up today, and they both have a good short float, like um like a JKS. JKS also a 15% short float. So today there are a lot of gappers. So we need to be very careful in trading them. So if I just put the, um, let me just quickly add the watch list here. So TGT and we haven't checked the VIPS, but VIPS is basically, it's came down too much right now. So we need to see for the pullback. So TGT could be an important one for the gapping down stocks. Then we have uh, Baba and JD and JKS, uh, and the Neo for gapping up, but this is going to be a secondary one. The primary one, which are more active, is uh, Zim and WB and Sophie. Okay, and BBL is also coming down. Let's check the BBL was the gapping up stock yesterday, and then it came down. It didn't bounce a single bounce in the whole day. Check it out here. Not a single bounce. It just keep coming down. Today again, it's just keep coming down. I don't know. These kind of stocks are hard to trade. You don't know when it's gonna bounce. Maybe it's gonna come all the way to the 58, or it's gonna bounce back in between. So hard to trade those stocks. Um, Other stocks you can look at it. The Hood, just on the basis of a daily, it came down too much, clearly holding these levels. So if it's gonna go over 48, you can start taking the position. And if it get the momentum like this one's, or it might gonna get some kind of a momentum. The way it is just slipping on a very small size, so it might over 47, and then 48 could be an interesting point. Yeah. And one more thing I would say, David, I don't know how long you've been trading, but uh, my suggestion is that meantime, if you're starting out, you're less than 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, uh, you know, stay away from that volatile stocks. If you want to stay, if you want to stick around for long, okay. Uh, just stay away. Just stay away. I will tell you. See, my uh, uh, let me show you. See here. So this is my VPRX. Okay, I traded that. I only traded 250 shares. Because for me, let me just show you. So when I entered here, for me is almost a one more than $1 loss, 1.5 point losing trade for here. So eh, always look at it that how much you're risking it. And these stocks, when you see on the price scale, where the price scale is just moving in the dollars, right? 32, 33, and 1 minute candle, just a 1 minute candle is have a multiple points. Just stay away from on these kind of stocks, because for as a new trader, uh, it is too hard to manage the risk. Okay, always go for the stocks which are here. You can see a total movement in 2 points, $2, $3. Then in that range is manageable trade for you. Just like I will show you. Look at the JD now. Okay, so I think JD is not a good example. Let me show you. Okay, let's look at the TLRY. Okay, so now TLRY is gapping up, also gapping up, but total gap up is only from $13 to 14.40, is only $1.5. So that total volatility of the stock. So if you don't follow the rules and you have a $50 stop loss share size, but you don't get out, it means that maybe $50 is too much for you. Maybe reduce to 25 then. The only reason why people don't get out is because that the risk unit is too big for them. That's the only reason. It happens to me as well. When I am confident about certain trade, I go oversize, and if it's squeezed back to me or go against me, I just sometimes just get hung up on it. And it's natural. And why it is natural? Because the risk unit is basically is too much for you. So if you get often paralyzed by $50 risk unit, then it means that this risk unit is too high. You definitely need to reduce your size. And guys, gonna really appreciate if you give a thumbs up. Um, yeah, so there are a lot of movers today, and coming back to the pre-market, there are a lot of movers. So be choosy. I don't know what would be the best ones, but definitely we need to keep watching it, and then scrutinize and then finalize. Just like look at the Zim gap of 5.4%. Uh, you know, but if you look at it, you know, it is just very hard for you to manage as a $50 risk unit, because uh, if you look at it on the right side of a scale, the high is 49, and the low of the pre-market at 47.70, right? And it's just not that. It's just any 5 minute candle is more than a dollar point. So for instance, if you look for any pattern, you at least need to give that much risk, right? So for dollar risk, if you go 50 and with a slippage, it may always going to be over some point. So for instance, if you're $50 a risk unit, and these multi-point movers is always going to give you a slippage. And one thing you can do to practice that you don't get paralyzed, that the moment you enter in the trade, you put the hard stop loss. That's it. And you cannot change it. You cannot move it out. So your reaction time is slow. So it doesn't really matter, because you do not need to react. Okay. If you show, I will show you this here. I don't know. You can see this is my level two. These are my key buttons. So sometimes if I feel that I'm taking over position, I put this I just click this button, and this button means automatically my stop loss order going to go on the break even, and I do not need to recheck it, right? And sometimes I'm getting greedy, and I look for more profit, and I don't know, whatever happens. Sometimes you're emotionally, biased on one side or other. I have those buttons. I have a fixed partial risk units for me, that this much I always, one is to one hour, you need it from the partials. So these are the key button with already a profit target embedded. So if I get greedy, I just click on those buttons, you know, and I always keep this in front of me, so that if I feel like I can notice that I am getting emotionally, uh, you know, doing the wrong things. So you just press this buttons and move out from the screen. You definitely need to practice if you do more often, not to stop loss. First, you need to reduce your risk unit, and then you also need to put these hot buttons, or, or tabs in front of you, so then you can take immediate action. All right, guys. So this is what all we have right now. Too many movers. We need to watch closely and decide once we get closer to the 9:20 mark. All right, guys. And I just wanted to understand, I have some constraint on the time, and I really wanted to get understanding from you guys, that do you want me to continue the pre-market show, or you want me to do a more recaps? Uh, because if I see the pre-market, I do only 7 8 people coming in, and for recaps I see more people coming and watching it. So I'm just curious to understand that, which one you guys want me to continue, and that's the way we're gonna go forward, so that you can get the maximum out of it, um, without putting me on the time burden. So leave the comments, let me know, and if you want to join a one-on-one mentoring, please reach out to me, and then you can do a live trading and mentoring with me as well. So far, until then, if I do some good trades, I'm going to do a recap, and we'll see you tomorrow.